Hi everyone! I've got a really cute little book to show you today. It's called Flowerscape and it's by Maggie Enterrios. It contains loads and loads of really sweet, very delicate botanical illustrations. And I got this little page here that just tells you a bit more about the book. So we'll go through some of the details. It says, bold florals pop on every page and leave plenty of room for colour, whilst intricate details keep things captivating. It also identifies select flora and weaves botanicals with geometric patterns and hidden creatures. So it sounds really, really fun. And the one that I've coloured in preparation for this review does amalgamate the two, so the botanicals and the geometrical shape. So about the author, it says Maggie is a commercial artist most known for her floral packaging and editorial illustrations. Her work embodies the principles of maximalism, bold graphics that deeply evoke the idea that more is more. So bold nature scenes with traditional subject matter, modern line work, complex overlapping and geometric detailing. She's created illustrations for brands including Apple, Crayola, Instagram, and Flowerscape is her first ever colouring book. So now that we've got all the detail out the way, let's look at the book itself. So it's 9 by 8, so not quite square, but it does have quite a small feeling format, something that you could probably take out with you maybe on holiday and it wouldn't take up too much room in your bag. It has a beautiful matte cover in these different tones of lilac. And then on the back you can see it says, colour your way through a world of gorgeous florals, discover an enchanting array of flower varieties and immerse yourself in nature with this collection of lush, calming illustrations. Delight in designs that weave botanicals with geometric patterns, delicate butterflies and other natural treasures. Let your creativity blossom. So it says here at the bottom, you can see we've got the barcode and everything, and then we've got the publisher, who is Page Street Publishing. And then next to that, interestingly, it tells you the type of binding the book has. It has a premium binding that stays open at any point in the book. So whether you're right at the start and you've only got a few pages in, you don't want it flapping back on you while you're colouring, or at the end or in the middle, it will stay flat at any point, which is great. It's hands-free, as it says here. You don't have to keep holding on to it to keep it from flapping. So premium production quality. Let's have a look inside. So we've got a thick card cover and we've got Flowerscape. So we've got a double title page, and then we have all of the copyright information and the book belongs to page. So it said this book belongs to, you'll write your name and then welcome to Flowerscape, and you can see it's decorated here by some florals. So let's have a look at the introduction. It says, Flowerscape is your escape to a world that is bursting with abundant blooms, twirling vines and hidden creatures. Imagine yourself wandering through a flourishing garden. Relax, reframe and allow yourself to freely thrive in creativity. Watch the pages spring to life with every step as you play through these lush illustrations and geometric designs. There is no right way to fill these pages. Whether you choose to colour, shade or doodle additional plants and animals, let your creativity lead the way. I've built a foundation of botanical illustrations that await your contribution. In adding your unique touch to each page, you are truly finishing the story that I began, creating a gorgeous collaborative work of art. Share your colouring online by tagging @colourflowerscape and #Flowerscape. No matter where you are, let Flowerscape take you to a place filled with beauty and growth. There are no thorns in this garden, only joy. How lovely. So you can see we've got this ribbon of botanicals coming across here as well. So you've got something to colour on every page, whether it's, you know, the book belongs to bit or what have you. And then, just centre this in, there we go. We have a whole double page spread of what looks as if you've just walked through the secret garden and you've got this whole wall of flowers staring you in the face. And as you know, I'm not very good with botanics and identifying flowers and plants and things like that. But there's some beautiful, beautiful florals here. And as you go through, it's kind of in the format of you'll have some flowers and then there'll be a singular flower which is labelled and then something to do with that flower, so an illustration that incorporates that particular bloom. So you can see here we've got the clematis and then the illustration of the clematis. I don't know if it's the plural is different, clematite, no. And then in the back you have that geometric pattern that she was talking about earlier. So we're merging the natural with the more sort of digital looking geometric patterns. So we have the Decorative Dahlia and the Ball Dahlia, and here they are in their scene. And now she did say, Maggie, that there would be some creatures hidden within the illustration. So you can see on this one, we've got loads of little ladybirds. And then the twin flower, which I've never heard of. And you can see this is a bit of a motif. We've got a couple of what look like roses here, and then the twin flowers and some leaves. It looks almost symmetrical. I don't know whether it is. Then we have the daffodil. And this was the one I was going to colour first because, of course, it is spring at the moment and daffodils are that sign of spring blooming after the winter, aren't they? So I was really wanting to colour this one, but I moved on to a different one. So you can see, hopefully, that the binding is stitched, and as it says, it keeps it flat wherever you are. So it's not going to flap back on you, even though we're right into the start of the book. It will be perfect for you to colour. So we've got trumpet flower and golden wattle. This is a nice little field study of the flowers themselves before you have them incorporated into a larger design. So it might be nice for you to practice on these, look at, you know, where you're going to put your colours, your shading and things like that, and then you can complete the full illustration. So we've got some hummingbirds on this. Now I'm guessing that the animals that Maggie has incorporated into the illustrations would be drawn to these particular flowers in life. I don't know if that's true or not, or whether it's just what she's decided to put together, but maybe the hummingbirds do go for these flowers, I'm not sure. Bird of paradise, and then really exotic looking motif here. We've got some tree frogs and huge luscious jungly looking leaves. So the monstera, and the morning beauty echeveria. And here they are. So we've got the larger blooms mixed in with the smaller florals as well. Lots and lots of detail, but it still feels very modern and clean and fresh, and as if it's not too crowded. If that makes sense, even though they are all crowded together, you've still got a lot of white space to play with for the most part. So this is a stargazer lily with some bees. And then the columbine, which has some acorns on here and some berries and what look like pine needle type things. So maybe this is supposed to be a bit of a wintry illustration. I can see some pine cones in there as well. Then we have the Crocosmere and the chrysanthemum, which are put together here. So again, some of the illustrations fill the whole double page. Some of them are ribbons across and some of them are singular motifs. We've got lily of the valley and what look like raspberries or blackberries. A couple of butterflies nestled in there as well. The aster and the plumbago. The foxglove. Just looking for any creatures that might be nestled in here. Sometimes it's not easy to see at first glance. Then we've got the hibiscus, gorgeous exotic looking flower. Really like the ones that are contained as well, that's my personal preference. Treasure flower and ixora. So some big butterflies in here with different patterns on the wings. And we've got the English rose, and here's the one that I've coloured, as you can see. I used the Brutfuna, I don't know if that's how you say it, Brutfuna pencils to colour this because I just received them yesterday. So these ones here. And KJ Design by Karen paints. They're the only paints I really use. Beautiful metallic watercolours. I'll link them in the description below. And this was the colour golden. So I'll bring it up to camera, zoom you in, and then you can see gorgeous gold shining under the light. So this is the perfect example of the geometric pattern weaving in with the natural flowers, and I really enjoyed colouring this. It didn't take too long at all, and it's got a really satisfying end result. So as you can see, I've got some imprints of ink on here that I need to rub out. We've got lupine and marigold. Here they are together. And then orchids, really like this little bouquet. Peonies, porcelain flowers and protea. So I recognise some of the florals, but I don't know the names of them, so it's interesting to learn. And of course, with you having the names, you can look them up on Google like I would. just to see what the realistic colours are. Pansies, and I really like how she's put them in banners. We've got the viola and the spider plant. And the apricot blossom here with, I'm not sure what this is, it looks like some kind of finch. Could be a goldfinch or a chaffinch, but I'm probably completely wrong. And the trillium, which is an interesting kind of flower. It's very unusual. I don't think I've seen one of those before. It looks like it grows on a stalk. You can see the main flower coming up here and then the geometric background. We've got the hyacinth and the hybrid tea rose. Here they are together on a ribbon. Morning glory. And we have some little snails in here as well. So just flattening out this spine, and you can see how it stays completely flat. Freesia and Cosmos. And the frangipani, which I thought was something you eat, like marzipan, but don't think you're meant to eat flowers. This is Daphne. And this is another one similar to one that I coloured. Really like the juxtaposition between the nature and the geometrics. Then the zinnia and the fuchsia. Double page spread, completely chocker filled with florals. And then the very last one is this little framed piece. So we've got about the artist, which we read a little bit of on that sheet at the start. So I've made a little patch of marker and gel pen just to see if it would bleed through. Now, I don't know whether you can see this, but there is a very, very slight ghosting on the other side. Nothing that I'd be too worried about, but do check with your materials first what you want to use. The paper itself is bright white, very crisp, and feels like a cardstock. Now, when I'm feeling the paper texture itself, it does feel quite smooth, but it does take layers as well. Probably not as much as a more toothier stock, but as you can see with the one that I coloured, I managed to get some nice blends on there, and yeah, it was really fun to colour. It's a very well produced book and I love it. So I will leave links in the description for where you can buy this from, and I'd love for you to let me know in the comments what you think of it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.